How many times have you bought something for your vehicle only to realize later that, you know what, I really didn't need this, or I just don't like it as much as I thought I did? You had a little bit of buyer's remorse? Well, I've spent the last couple days cleaning out my garage and I've come across a whole lot of things that aren't on my Jeep anymore. So we're going to talk about those in this video today. Welcome to TrailRecon, I'm Brad, and today on this episode we're going to do something a little different because normally when we're in the garage I'm doing some kind of upgrade or modification to one of the 4 Jeeps. It's crazy to me that we have 4 Jeeps in the family now, but normally that's what we're doing when we're in the garage, is we're throwing stuff on there. And over the last couple days I've been doing some spring cleaning in here, just getting things organized in the garage because I've got some really cool projects that I just needed to get tidied up for, and I'm really excited to share those with you here in the coming days. But as I was cleaning up, I kept coming across stuff that I had installed on the Jeep and took off for whatever reason. And I thought it might be helpful to take a few minutes, get on camera, and share with you some of those things that I had on the Jeep and I took off and the reasons why. Now, none of these products are bad products. They just weren't meeting my needs, or maybe I had outgrown the capabilities and needed something else. So I thought it would be informative to share those with you. So let's get started. Let me go grab the first item. So the first upgrade that we're going to talk about is a throttle booster. And this is actually something that I was a little skeptical of to begin with. Now this one here is from BD Diesel, but there's a few manufacturers that make throttle boosters and they're all pretty similar as far as capabilities. And what this does is it increases the sensitivity to your gas pedal. So instead of pressing about a quarter of the way to really get into the gas, you just barely tap on it and your vehicle will get up and go a little bit faster. It was really nice for getting up and on the freeway, but to be honest with you, my gas mileage dropped quite a bit after I installed this. But that was on me. It's just because I couldn't keep my foot out of it. But what I didn't like was the twitchiness on the trail. Just wasn't working out for me. I was like, this is just too sensitive. I didn't like it. And maybe over time I would have got used to it, but after a couple weeks I just ended up taking it off. Now, this does have the capability to modify how twitchy it is. And so if you go off-road, you can lower the settings, and they have an external switch that you can do that. And I think some of the other manufacturers have like on-the-fly switch that you can install on your dash. But at the end of the day, I really just decided I didn't need this. This wasn't something I wanted. Plus, I did the re-gear, and you know what? That's working out really well for me. So it's not a bad product, just not something I'm using anymore. All right, the next upgrade that I no longer have is actually something that I don't physically have anymore, so I'll throw up some B-roll here in a minute so you can see what I'm talking about. But it is the Hinge Steps that used to be mounted on the side of my Jeep. It's actually, out of all this stuff on my Jeep, when I had those on here, people would ask me, what is that on the side of your Jeep? Over and over again, I would get the same questions, even at the gas station. They don't care about my lift and tires. They wanted to know about these Hinge Steps that were on the side. And they're a great product. They're extremely practical. Stepping up on there allows you to get easy access to the roof. If you have a rooftop tent, which I do, it makes it very easy to get up there and open it up. But I'm 6'2", I'm not a short guy. And so actually I found that I just didn't need them. Hopping up on the door sill of the Jeep just works perfectly for me. And so that's why I took them off. Now, if you're not over 6 feet tall, it's a great product and it held up really well. I actually had them on here for quite a while, but I just found out I just didn't need them. So this is something that was deep back in my shelf. I didn't even realize I still had this thing, and that is a hood mounted LED light. And I put this thing on, man, it's well over 2.5 years ago. And I thought it was something that I would really appreciate having, having that extra light, because at the time I didn't have, this awesome Pro 6 up here. And so I installed this, and it's a pretty straightforward install. You got these little hood mounted brackets that just screw right here into the hinge. But what I found was, just after staring at it for a while, come on guys, you sit around and stare at your Jeep in the garage. I do it all the time. The more I looked at it, I was like, I just don't like the way it looks. And then when I was driving, you could see the back of it. I don't know. It just never grew on me, so I ended up taking it off. Plus, the one thing with this thing is having it on the hood, you get a lot of hood glare, reflection of that light right off the hood. So for me, I didn't really like the way it looked, and it just wasn't practical for me. Thankfully now, I got plenty of light and I don't need it, but that's why I'm not using that one anymore. The next upgrade that I no longer have is the Magellan TRX7 navigation system. That's something I installed and did a review on about 2 years ago, and I really wanted to love that thing. It was really well built, you know, it's all weather, it's durable, and the Magellan system has a whole network of trails to choose from. And so I used it for about a year, but what I found was I would have it running and I would go to my phone and open up one of my other navigation apps because the software was a little slow to respond and it was just a little clunky to use. And so I was using my phone more and more, and I finally just got rid of it and have been using this iPad mini for about a year. And what's great about an iPad is, one, it's very fast, very responsive, but I've got like 4 or 5 different navigation apps on here that I can choose from, which is really nice because some of them have better features than others, so I'll jump between them. Right here, I'm using Lead Nav. Oftentimes in the videos, you guys will see that I'm using Gaia. I've got Motion X, and you can also pull up the Magellan TRX app and use that on the phone, so you still have access to that. So I've been very happy with the iPad mini. I think the Magellan TRX7 is a great, if you need something that's all weather, you know, if you're gonna go without the tops and you're worried about rain and dust and all that kind of stuff. But for me, iPad mini is working out really well. So those of you that have been following the channel since the early days will know one of the first upgrades that I did was install a gas cap door on my Jeep, because I really just don't like the way this looks. You know, all this plastic hanging out, it just looks too raw for me. And the Sahara model and the Hard Rock Edition came with that really cool Mopar door. So I went ahead and installed one of those, and it held up great for a long period of time, but eventually the clips, the plastic clips behind, broke loose. And no matter what I did, you know, I would get it secured and then I would go out on the trail and it would just be loose again. And so I ended up just pulling it off and going back with this. So I've been running it this way for a while. I don't like it. I really wish I could find another door that would hold up. The cool thing is that my son hooked me up. He got me a little gift. So he got me one of these gas cap doors, and it's got a silver American flag on there, which is a very cool touch. So I'm gonna give this another try, but that's why currently I don't have a Mopar gas cap door on here. Now this upgrade that I no longer have, it might surprise a few of you. I don't currently have a hard mounted CB radio in my Jeep anymore. You know, it was one of the first things that I installed was this Cobra radio, and I actually installed this in the center console. And I used it a lot initially, but then what I found was most of the people that I was going out wheeling with had ham radios. And so I got very, very little use out of the CB. So I pulled that, and then I went to this single mounted mic, and I had this mounted on the grab bar, and I had that there for a while, but still it just kind of sat there and did not get a lot of use. I mean, it is rare that I go out wheeling anymore with somebody that's got a CB. I know there's a lot of guys that have CBs out there, but the circle of people that I'm with just don't use them very much. And so I am a licensed ham operator, and I use my ham radio. I think that's the best way to communicate. Now, I do still carry a handheld CB radio, but obviously the range on here is not very good. But when I'm out on the trail and there's somebody that they only have CB, at least we can still communicate. But honestly, I just have found that I don't need a hard mounted CB radio. I know it's going to come as a shock to some folks. Now the next upgrade that we're going to talk about that I no longer have on my Jeep has just been something that I kind of outgrew, and that is the single RB compressor. This thing has been such a workhorse. I use this thing over and over. I mean, I don't know how many hundreds of tire fills I've got on this thing, and it still works great. But the challenge is when you go to 35-inch tires and then 37-inch tires, is it just takes way too long. It'll still get the job done, but it takes forever to fill up the tires. And so what I did was I upgraded to CO2, and I love CO2. This power tank system is awesome. It does a great job. It fills them super fast. The only limitation is I can only get about 3 full sets of fill with the 37, so I've got to go get it filled up quite often. I do have 2 bottles, which helps, but when we were out on the Moab and Colorado trip, we were gone for 10 days. Well, CO2 is not going to get it done. So I did invest in a dual RB compressor, and I'll install that from time to time, but it doesn't stay in the Jeep full time. But this single RB compressor, while it's an upgrade I don't have anymore, I still would recommend it. I think it's a great little compressor if you're running, 33-inch tires or smaller. Perfect. So many of you know that the stock Jeep headlights just are not very bright. Even when you turn the brights on, it's still not very good at putting out a lot of light down the trail. So I tried a couple different things along the way. The first was an upgraded halogen bulb, which I remember spending like 40 or 50 bucks on that, and I was just like really underwhelmed when I installed those. I was like, man, what a waste of money. Then I installed some LED bulbs in here, and while they were actually a little bit brighter, you know, it was a white light instead of that yellow light, there was always a little bit of flicker in there, and so I was never really happy with those. Then I upgraded to an LED light, which had a bunch of individual LEDs on there, and it had a blue ring, and honestly, I don't know what I was thinking because there's not a single blue thing on my Jeep. But the problem with those lights was they weren't DOT approved, and I was blinding just about everybody as I was going down the road because there was no horizontal cutoff, so it was just throwing light out there. Plus, I just didn't like the way they looked. I actually ended up taking them off and going back to these for a long period of time. Now, many of you know that I'm running the KC Gravity Pro 6. I love these lights. They're DOT approved. They've got the horizontal cutoff, and when I throw that bright on there, they're working great. But that's the variations that I've gone through over the years with my Jeep headlights. So storage in the back of my Jeep has been an ongoing evolution, and one of the things that I installed back here about a year ago was that Vector Off-Road GGB shelf system. You know, I mounted all the way across here, and it was great because I could throw stuff up there, tie it down. But what I found was there was two things I really didn't like about it. One was the loss of visibility out the back window. I mean, I know I'm running a 37-inch tire, and so I already have decreased visibility, but I like the visibility that I have. And the second thing was I was throwing stuff up there, but really I had other places that I could put it, so I didn't really need the shelf as much as I thought I did, so I ended up pulling it out. Now, I mentioned early at the beginning of the video that I'm doing some spring cleaning in here because of a project that I'm working on. Well, we're going to be doing a very cool storage system back here, a do-it-yourself project that I'll be sharing with you here very soon. I think you're really going to dig it, guys. More to follow on that. So look, I know many of you out there have bought something for your vehicle and decided, like me later on, just wasn't working out for you. Let me know in the comments what that was and why you got rid of it. I think it would be great to share that information with everybody. I hope this video was informative. It's a little different than what we normally do here on the channel, but hopefully you got some value from it. If you're visiting TrailRecon for the first time, hit that subscribe button. I'd love to have you as a member of the TrailRecon team. Thanks for watching.